Good evening and welcome to my channel. Tonight we'll be continuing our story of The Hearts of Argyle Godfrey by Nicholas Leonard. Chapter 7. Our second big argument was around Halloween. Her love was raining down on me in fall, a shower that my spirit needed, but it was on October 27th that it happened. You have to understand, she had my heart. I was alarmed to see her wearing what she was for a party at UMass Amherst. I was going to be going in for a 7 to close shift, but I was going to drop Aurora off at Daphne's on my way to work. My mom was out getting groceries when I walked into the den in my Stop and Shop shirt when I froze. At first, her visage struck me, headlight skin. Her top was more similar to a leather belt than a brassiere, and so was her bottom. At least she wore black combat boots that concealed her shins. But how prevalent and triumphant her thighs were bare, the outfit juxtaposed with bunny ears. She turned around. "How do I look, baby?" Good." She hopped over to me, bunny ears wobbling. She clung to me and kissed my cheek. Why was I feeling sick so suddenly? "What kind of party is this?" I asked. How prevalent the goosebumps on each leg, so much more than when we were on the beach. "It's a Halloween party." "Who's going to be there?" "Bunch of people. My friends. I don't know, baby. You sure can't call out of work?" "Yeah, I'm really the only cart boy they have. Garrett's going to the DR for a couple of weeks," I said. You sure you aren't going to be too cold?" "Baby, I'm gonna be inside the dorms all night." She turned around, and it was like the moon changing its mind. "Why are you looking at me like that?" "It's just, oh, you like it." "Or are there going to be boys at this party?" "That's a stupid question." Why was I feeling scared? Her voice turned the hole inside my chest into a frozen leg. "Argyle." I struggled to speak, remembering our last argument. It's going to be 38 tonight." "Do you have a problem with my costume? You never had a problem with me in a bikini." "That was the summertime, Aurora." "What?" she snapped. "Do you think I'm a cheat on you because I dress like this? You're my boyfriend for a reason, Argyle. I wouldn't ever cheat on you." "I just worry, 'cause you're insecure." "Great. Now I'm gonna feel like a bad girlfriend all night, like a cheetah 'cause that's what you see me as, right?" "No, Aurora, just say it." But I didn't say anything. I was stunned. I was imagining her dressed the way she was in an environment where there would be inebriated college students in close proximity, where there would be frat boys, gym bros, football players, where she would be dressed like that with her whole butt on display and her legs looking like the lamp from A Christmas Story. So I just stood there with my mouth ajar. She got out her phone, though I'm not sure from where, as her outfit didn't have any pockets, and her thumb started flying. "You know what? Thank God they removed your heart, 'cause it's worthless. Don't be surprised if you find it in your mailbox tomorrow morning, guy." She finished texting and looked up from her phone. "Argyle, you can't have a hot GF and be insecure. That doesn't work." I think I was on the verge of crying. "Aurora, you're putting my heart at risk going out like that. Can't you see it? You own my heart. You're supposed to put my heart into consideration." There was a lull. "Daphne's going to come pick me up. Have fun at work, cart boy freak." My mom came in with her arms full of groceries. I gulped because I didn't want to cry yet. My mom was also overcome with kind of shock upon seeing Aurora's black bunny outfit. Thank God Daphne was inept at reading speed limit signs in the dark, because Aurora was out of the house shortly after. "I sensed a weird vibe in the room when I got in. What was that about?" my mom asked after I helped her put away the groceries. I lied, of course, though poorly so, and left for work. I thought it was going to be the hardest shift in my life, but I didn't know that it was going to be just the start of a long chain of likewise shifts. Thankfully, it was slow that night at Stop and Shop. I spent the majority of my shift pacing in and out of the cones of light falling down from the lampposts while the smell of weed and car exhaust and cold, fresh air had the ultimate war. I stopped and leaned my back into the side of the store, looking up at the Burntsmore, Massachusetts sky, imagining Aurora at the college party and wondering if I was wrong for feeling the way I did. Yes, maybe I was being very paranoid, but was I being possessive? I didn't want to be anything but good to her, but why was I so scared? The keeper of my heart is underdressed, I thought while walking to retrieve one card that someone had pushed all the way to the edge of the parking lot with the intent of stealing it, not knowing about the locking mechanisms inside the wheels that kept it from leaving the vicinity. Did my heart need a locking mechanism too? Maybe then would have been a good time to lock it, but it wasn't mine anymore. It was Aurora's. The keeper of my heart is underdressed. I thought about the goosebumps on her thigh, the way the ocean crashed onto our flesh. What stranger would caress her thigh that night? I smacked my hands into my face, which didn't work, so I did it again, as if splashing water into my face. But there was none, of course, so the sound of my fingers beating on my brow disturbed the parking lot. The way our hair became so heavy wet, the way I understood her body's braille. The keeper of my heart is underdressed. And it was heartbreaking because she was always beautiful, and the bunny ears made her adorable. In fact, her bunny ears nymphicized her. I was reminded of the recording of zombies in Haiti while I walked the parking lot where I became not a silhouette, but a brown silhouette, my humanity only in the parting of my lips while I took in breaths that I hoped would not become sobs. Part of me wished it had been busier, just so I had something to take my mind off of things, but no. My mind played it over and over again, our argument and the vision of Aurora in bad company. How much like an exorcism that argument and its fallout was. My punishment lasted a week, even though I apologized profusely. What happened or didn't happen at the party began to matter less and less, and us being okay began to matter more and more, to me at least. I was lucky that week if Aurora texted me without using swear words, but November came and she took me back. "You really cried over me?" she asked while petting my hair and holding me on my bed. I nodded, but she kept asking. There was more surprise than concern in her voice when she asked. Oh, what a cottage did her arms create. "You still speak to my heart at night?" She paused before saying, "I cried to it while we was fighting." I buried my face into her chest and heard my throat deflate. "I don't like fighting. I love you, Aurora. I'm sorry." "You keep saying sorry. Argyle, it's okay. We're over it." "Just as long as you feel okay. I am, baby." "Do you have any new poems memorized?" "Not tonight, baby. Let's just lay here. Your hair is very soft. I miss petting it." I inhaled her, lavender, her. Even the faint remnants of her vape were sedating on my soul. Sometimes she hid it while holding me, and a misty cloud would come rolling down as if a little dragon breathed on me. It was intoxicating to be taken back by her. How completing it felt to have her dragon breath cascade me again. And when we had another argument, it felt as though, well, I was reminded my heart was removed. Were the first two arguments in our relationship my fault for being paranoid about things maybe I had no business worrying about? I'm not sure, but I'm certain that the following arguments were not my fault. Most of the time I didn't know where they came from, but I learned quickly what to do, apologize. But they just got worse and worse, and I needed her more and more. But she pulled and pulled away, coming back to feed me affection before another argument ensued days or weeks later. Aurora Oleander, Aurora Oleander, I whisper her name. What power she had over me. It was sentenced since she listened to the silence in my chest that night in Salem. Spring of 2023 was when my love for her was in its zenith, because that is when she began withholding her love for me. It seemed she loved me most when she was listening to my chest. She began holding me less and less, and I began holding her where she'd settle her ear on my chest. I think she was assuaged by my lack of a heartbeat, the same way that I used to be lulled to sleep by the hum of my air conditioner as a kid. She was lulled by my heartlessness. But my soul was lost inside her romantic casino. I got infrequent rewards, but I stayed because I was addicted. This is why our love felt like it was more than love. I knew she loved me, and I thought that if I just loved her enough, then she would show me more affection, that she would love me like she had before. Thus ends Chapter 7 of The Hearts of Argyle Godfrey by Nicholas Leonard.